So when does a business officially start? Is it when you make your first sale, you incur your first expense? Is it when you officially publish your website? Is it when you officially register your business or get your business license? It's a good question, and in some cases it's an important question. And the answer to the question, like just about every question, is it depends. And so it mostly depends on who's looking. Is this the Canada Revenue Agency looking for tax purposes? Is this a lender that's looking to determine how long you've been in business? Or is this some other institution for a completely different purpose? Because all of them are going to have a slightly different definition of when the business started. I do come across people who think that they don't have a business because they've never actually registered it or they're not claiming it on their taxes. But just because you're not doing that doesn't necessarily mean you don't have a business. You can be conducting business activity that should be reported on your taxes without having a business name, without having a business license, without having insurance or things like that. So especially in the eyes of the Canada Revenue Agency, for example, they don't really know or care if you have business insurance or if you have a municipal business license or if your business name is registered in your province. What they care about and what their definition is more based on is income and expenses from business activity. Whereas if you're going to a lender to obtain some funding and they want you to be in business for, let's say, 2 years before getting a loan from them, for that lender, they might define it as 2 years since your first sale. So again, it can vary from institution to institution or agency to agency. But I'm going to read off the Canada Revenue Agency website word for word just to go over their definition of when a business officially starts. So I will leave a link to this website in the video description below. But it states that you must start reporting your income and can start deducting your expenses when your business starts. The CRA looks at each case on its own merits. Generally, the CRA considers your business to have started whenever you begin some significant activity that is a regular part of the business or that is necessary to get the business going. It continues by saying, suppose you do your own research on how to start a business in the hope of going into a business of some kind. The CRA would not consider that as a significant activity that is a regular part of the business. So the CRA would not consider your business to have begun at the time you started doing research. In that case, you cannot deduct any of the costs you have incurred for the research. And then lastly, it states, suppose you decide to buy enough goods for resale or equipment to start your business. The CRA would consider this to be the starting point of your business. You can usually deduct all of the expenses you incur for the business from that point on to earn income. You could still deduct expenses even if, despite all your efforts, your business ended. So let's say in that first example, if you're interested in starting a business and so you decide to register for a business diploma, certificate, or degree program to learn more about business. In that case, you're just gathering information, you're learning about business, so your tuition expenses would not be considered a business expense. And I know this can be a bit of a gray area, but maybe you decide to start a business doing online digital marketing. And so you decide to take an online digital marketing program. In that case, it is more likely that you could claim that as an expense because that is more of a direct cost to that specific business that you're planning on commercializing. It's not just research anymore. Now, in that example where it talks about buying supplies or equipment for resale, that's more clear cut where you're actually purchasing, supplies or inventory to actually sell. And when you're selling that, especially for profit, that is defined as business activity. So for example, if you decide to start a business as of January 1st, and then you start, paying for a logo design and building a website, and you order some business cards and things like that, those would be considered business expenses because you're doing that for the purpose of business to actually get your business going. You might not have any sales for a while, like maybe it takes you 3 or 4 months to have any sales or revenue coming into your business. That's okay because you're starting to incur expenses for the purpose of business activity for commercialization. So in the eyes of the CRA, at least, it's not when you register your business or when you make your first sale. It's when you start engaging in activity that's necessary to get the business going. So again, that could be things like registering your business or getting a license or getting a logo designed or building a website or ordering business cards or advertising or something like that. So hopefully this video was helpful. If so, please click like. And feel free to check out my YouTube channel and subscribe. I currently have almost 300 videos that cover business management and business startup topics.